It is that time again for another CARECOLLAB update on our Zygopetalum orchids. I have 3 of them and I'm looking forward to sharing them with you. But as a CARECOLLAB, as a reminder, there are 16 of us that will be sharing with you how we grow our same orchid but in our different environments all around the globe where we live. And let me tell you who is involved this time around in our updates. We have Plants and Other Things with Yoshi, Attainable Green, Orchids and Finbows, Trisha's Orchid Life, Roger's Orchids, Fernanda Nacimiento Orchids and Succulents, The Orchid Saga, Beauty of Orchids and Plants, Orchid 365, Anavoeg Gia, Yensi Orchids and ADD, Hillbilly Orchids, Julie's Orchids, and Ninja Orchids, who orchestrates all of these wonderful CARECOLLABs. So if you have a Zygopetalum or any other plant that you might see one of us talking about in a CARECOLLAB, give a little shout out to Nina over at her channel and say, hey, I would like to be a part of those CARECOLLABs. Of course, you have to be a content creator. And so if you make YouTube videos and you want to share how you grow your plant in this CARECOLLAB or any other CARECOLLAB, please go over to Nina's channel and give her a little message and she will get in touch with you. I have 3 Zygopetalum orchids. I have been in the CARECOLLAB twice now with them. Mine are progressing kind of kind of average, not the greatest. Let me know if you can find them on these shelves. There's 3 of them. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. For the last seasons of their life, I had them down here on this second shelf from the bottom. And I noticed something happening. Even though they were right next to a oscillating fan there, you see, they started all getting spots on their leaves, and I'll show you them when I bring them down. But the only thing I could conclude was that I had put shelf liners on these shelves so that water wouldn't drip down into the other ones. And perhaps it was limiting the airflow that naturally would have or had been coming down from the top down onto them, because I did have them at the top and then the oscillating fan would hit them. That's on the ceiling fan would hit them. So the only thing different was that I moved them down here this year, and let's see what happened to them. So here we have my 3 Zygopetalums, the 2 that you have seen before. This one is Chris. I got her at Christmas time and named her Chris, and I'll try to find a clip that compares her from the last time. The middle one, I got her at a grocery store, I believe, and I do not have a proper name tag for her. The third one over here is a Zygopetalum Advanced Australia Blue Velvet. And let's look closely at them. My orchids in this room, the only orchids that are fully moss, mostly fully moss, are the Zygopetalums. Now this year I supplemented a little bit of bark in here to go along with her moss because it was beginning to get algae on it, and I wanted to acclimate so that they could get used to bark and a little bit of perlite. Now this is very, very fine, tiny pieces of orchiata bark. But she has lost her leaves, obviously, that were on this one. But do you see how they started browning and getting the spots on the underside while they were down in that lower level? This is her newest growth, and it will be a while, I think, until I see flowers on her again. She was purchased in December, Christmas time of 1920. Nope, she wasn't quite purchased in 1920, but 2020 would be most accurate. So she has a ways to grow. She's healthy, but I don't see her just thriving like I see the other two thriving. Again, when you get something from the grocery store, it's always a gamble on what the condition is, because you really have no idea how long they've been possibly struggling in their pots before you brought them home. The second one here, these are just my tags that say when I watered her. She is in full moss, except for the top layer has bark that I've recently added. And this year I did gently lift out some of the moss that was around the outside edges and replace it with fresher moss, just to keep the acidity level at a good healthy place. They were watered yesterday. You can see her new green roots there. There's some under there, but look, that must be a dead one because she didn't color up. So she is growing some new roots down below there. Can you see that sticking up? Right about there. They generally love a cool to intermediate warm, and so this room can get pretty cold if I let it, but generally only at night it's going to get down to that 62 mark. But in the summer, when it gets extremely warm, this is her new growth that she's been working on. I'm hoping this spring she'll pop through. I don't see at present any spikes, but hopefully she will pop one out for me. But generally in the summer, here in the Pacific Northwest, we run about in the high 80s, a couple of days in the mid 90s, and occasionally we'll get a week or two of 100 plus. And in those seasons, I just remove my 3 zygos and bring them downstairs where it's nice and cool, or I put them over in the air conditioned room, just not to stress them out. I have never tested them out in the hot 100-degree in this room, so I wouldn't want to chance it. Let's look at the third one, the Advanced Australian Blue Velvet. She is my strongest contender. I'm very happy for her. She is, though, full of the little bits of spotting. Now, this leaf is dying back. I don't believe they keep all their leaves forever, you know, so eventually they will start to die back, and I think that's what this process is. They have been treated with neem oil a couple of times throughout the year. Underneath you can see that she has the spotting, but it's not massively overtaking the leaf. It is really just kind of a gradual. And so I think that this oldest bulb here in the middle, this section, I can see a little lump right there. Perhaps she's going to be growing a new spike. Maybe it'll push out from in here. Maybe I'll peek. Let's see what happens when I peek. Oh, I'm glad I peeked. Look at that. I think there is bug. Oh, frustrating. I see white in there. I'm glad we looked. Now I gotta get closer. I just gotta find it out. Now, what do we have going on here? I'm just gonna rip that leaf back. Look at that. Can you believe it? Where did you? Right there. Yep. I'm gonna have to treat her now. Very frustrating. I don't know if that's just a mold fungus. I'm gonna get my magnifier out later and we'll get close up. If there's any legs on that, then I will be treating it for bugs. I've never seen any bugs, but we will go from there. Like I say, they had been on that middle shelf with no air coming down from the top on them, and I think that was crucial for the fungus spots growing on the outside of the leaves. But mine have not rebloomed for me. I hope that they will. There are a variety of channels in this CARECOLLAB that I'm sure a few of them have flowers blooming. So I do encourage you to go check out those channels. Everyone does their orchids differently. Some indoors, some outdoors, some in grow tents, some in grow rooms, and some have years of experience. I am at my 3-year mark with growing orchids. So I am still learning. Like you saw me pull back that leaf and see that white. Now I get to investigate, research, and figure out what I'm going to do with that Zygopetalum. And of course, if you know, please give me some comments down below in the comment box. I appreciate that. But check out the channels. You might find a new channel you have never seen before, and it may be a perfect fit for you. So we are all unique, and this community is a very, very wonderful community to be a part of. If you have any question about any of your orchids, either the person you're commenting back on their video will help answer, or the other commenters and viewers will help you with your situation or your problem that you might have. Like I say, it is a wonderful community, and I'm very thankful to be a part of it. And with that, I hope that these will grow me some spikes this March, maybe April, maybe May. We shall see. But until then, I wish you wellness and peace, and you have a great day.